Welcome back to Rappin Dough. What's happening? This is your man Don Bucks. This is the home of money conversations. Hey, and that's interesting, being that this is the home of money conversations. One of the reasons why I named it that is because for some reason in our community, we don't be having no money conversations, at least productively. Somebody in the chat, please name me one time that y'all had a productive money conversation in your family. Name me one time. I mean, and that's not even enough. Like, just having one money conversation with your family is not enough. That's why I named this brand Rappin Dough, the home of money conversations, because we don't like to have money conversations. Productive ones, that is. Like, we like to talk about money, how much we spending it. We like to hold up the money phone, but nobody talking about how to get it. Who's talking about how to get it legally? Who? We gonna talk about it tonight. We gonna talk about it, and whoever's tapping in, feel free to join the conversation. The link is in my Rappin Dough bio. But yeah, this is the home of money conversations. And why don't we have money conversations? It seems like in our community, it's like a taboo. Like we feel, I don't know, it's like it's weird. It's weird how we are with money. Like we'll talk about how much we don't have. We'll complain about our job, how the white man is holding us down. We'll do all that talking about money. But if y'all been following my posts, I was talking about this book. I don't have the physical book, but I have the digital book called The Jewish Phenomenon. And it's other cultures that they are on purpose with their money. Um, not only do they talk about money, but when it comes to their kids, they actually proclaim what they gonna be before they even born. They like, yeah, we about to have us a doctor, or yeah, we about to have us a lawyer. You know, I remember the last time we sat down at the dinner table all together and talked about our day. But these are the things that, for some reason, other cultures do and we don't do. And you would think that we would, being that started behind. We behind in the race, in this wealth building race. It's crazy. I don't understand it. And there's a select few of us that don't mind talking about it because we're on a mission to get it. So it's at the top of mind until we don't have to talk about it, until it's not a concern. So we need to talk about it until it's not even necessary to talk about. And I think that's why people don't got none. A lot of us, a lot of our families don't have any because we don't take the time to talk about money productively. What y'all think? But tonight, I wanted to talk about, or today, tonight, whatever time it is where you at, as entrepreneurs, when is the right time to quit the 9 to 5? When is the proper time? Because what I mean, people want to quit their job. They want everybody, all the entrepreneurs, you know, We had a handful of entrepreneurs that was, during 2020 dissing jobs like crazy. And I'm of the stance, I have nothing against the job. I ain't got nothing against somebody having a job because I know that your job is your first investor. Your job is your first investor. We supposed to be using that job money to bust moves. That's why I ain't got nothing against the job. We supposed to be using that money. So where a lot of people find themselves is, I ain't gonna say a lot, but some people, they find themselves quitting their job. Some people quit their job before they even got another job lined up. I don't know what that's about. But on this topic, some people quit their job before their business is even profitable, before their business is even replacing their income. And that's an emotional decision. So I'm not about to sit up here and tell you to jump ship. Excuse me. I'm not sitting up here telling nobody to jump ship from their job. Entrepreneurs, that is. I'm not telling nobody to jump ship because that's like I said, emotional. That's an emotional decision. We want to be strategic with ours. You dig what I'm saying? So today we want to dive into how to leave the job properly. And all my previous episodes been leading up to this. I'm going to continue to talk about this because people with any type of sense is not about to quit their job and don't have, first of all, another job lined up. But more importantly, you're not going to quit your job until your business can support you. That just makes sense. So we're going to do it the way, we're going to talk about doing it the way that we were supposed to be taught to do it, not the emotional way to do it. You understand? So let's get into that after this intro. Rappin Dough, Rappin Dough, Rappin Dough. So just because you hate your job, don't mean you should just get up and quit. Yeah, you might hate your manager. You don't really like working with some of your coworkers. Yeah, I get that. But we need to be strategic. You can't quit still broke. You can't quit without a plan, without no cash flow. We can't do that. That's not what we're doing here. You didn't level up yet. So you can't just jump off the cliff like that. First of all, what a lot of us didn't learn is we need a 3-month emergency fund put up. What's the 3-month emergency fund? That is 3 months of your expenses in the bank. So if your expenses is $2,000 a month, you need to have $6,000 in the bank before you even think about quitting. So this is why you don't quit your job. But you need to have these goals, right, in order to have something to work towards. So a 3-month emergency fund, minimum. But start with the 3 months. And that kind of coincides with your freedom price. And I talked about your freedom price not too long ago. A lot of people think that in order to be free, in order to, be able to chill and do what they want to do, they need $1 million. You don't need $1 million. $1 million would be dope. $1 million is cool. But we don't need $1 million to be free. You need your freedom price coming in on a consistent basis. Your freedom price is whatever your expenses is coming in consistently, preferably with some cushion on it. So if your expenses is $2,000 a month, wait till you get to about $2,500 to $3,000 a month coming in consistently. That's freedom. That's your freedom price. So having that 3-month emergency fund it kind of coincides with that. You definitely want to have that in the bank already before you think about quitting your job. You feel what I'm saying? So freedom price. We got to know what your freedom price is. That's the beginning right there. A lot of people never been asked what their freedom price is. And you're hearing it. If you never heard it before, you're hearing it here first. Figure out what your freedom price is. And it's not, I'm guarantee it's not $1,000,000. See? I guarantee it's not $1,000,000. So figure out what your freedom price is. What are your expenses monthly with some cushion on it? So, like I said, if your expenses is $2,000 a month, let's just say 3,000. $3,000 a month coming in consistently. Now you're free. That is not $1,000,000. You see what I'm saying? So, freedom price, figure out what that is, and then have that times 3 in the bank. That's your 3-month emergency fund. So quitting your job is the goal, but you can't be jumping the gun. You can't be jumping the gun. But while you're still employed, like I said, we're supposed to be using that money to bust moves. You getting a raise, all right, well, you can be buying a share, a dividend paying share, or 2 or 3, whatever you set aside based off of your freedom price. So we can do the math on that. Some stocks pay different dividends. So you figure out what stocks you want to have in your portfolio, what they pay in a dividend. Then you can figure out how many shares of each company you need to meet your freedom price or a portion of it. Because then we can go over on into the Toro Avenue, buying a cash car for $4,000 or $5,000. All of my cars I paid about $5,000 for. You don't need a brand new car to put on Turo, contrary to popular belief. Some people might teach that. I don't teach that. We don't teach that. We teach being debt free and doing it. So $4,000 or $5,000 for a car, you in the game. And that's not hard to come by. Especially I heard how people getting these $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 tax returns. That could be a cash car or two. See what I'm saying? So once you got these going and you know what you're doing, that is leverage. That is a position of information. So now you can create a digital product based off of what you know. Boom. Now you done created a digital product, turning your expertise into income. So you're not just clocking in. Like I seen a post Where dude said, I didn't look at my job as I'm working for them. I looked at my job as they working for me. They building my thing. I'm using their money to build my thing. So they working for me for real at the end of the day. They working for me. I was like, damn, that's fire. Yeah, switch the perspective. You're not just going in. Now you'll feel a little bit better going to work because you know they working for you. You're using that money to build your machine. You feel me? That's what it's about for real. Using your job to build your machine, your freedom price machine. Yeah. So then once you know your freedom price, you go on to work, they working for you, and you chipping away at this freedom price with every asset that you buy, whether it be a dividend stock or a cash car. You building your machine one piece at a time, but you got to start with knowing what your freedom price is. You know what your freedom price is. Now you can build your 3-month emergency fund. So you're not in there mad working with emotion no more. You in there like, yep, checking off stuff. Like, all right, next. Next. So you earning your freedom one piece at a time. But it starts with knowing what your freedom price is. You know what your freedom price is. You get your 3-month emergency fund put up. Then you can work on whatever your freedom price is coming in consistently on a monthly basis with some cushion. I know for me, shoot, it got to the point where I was at the barbershop and I was getting upset because that's how I knew it was time to throttle back my hours. Because I'm like, wait a minute, all my side hustles, all the content I was could have been creating, I felt like I was losing money because I was making more than my job with my side hustles and what I was doing online. I said, yeah, appointment only. Appointment only. This time, appointment only. So that's where I'm at now. I'm appointment only. I work when I want to, when I turn my appointment app on. That's when I work. Because I don't put my 3-month emergency fund is in the bank. I have my monthly expenses coming in consistently every month. That is when you can walk away. If you ain't know how, now you know. Know your freedom price. Have 3 months of it in the bank. Then have your freedom price coming in consistently every month. You do those 3 things, you free. And it's not $1 million. So don't just leave your job. No, just switch the perspective. They working for you. You in there using that bread to build your machine. Just switch this perspective. It's yeah. It's only a matter of time if you're chipping away at those three things. Exit with power. You got to build before you bounce. Basically, you got to build before you bounce, man. This is Rappin Dough. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe and a notification bell for the next time I go live and drop some game. But that's when you leave your job. You build before you bounce. It's your man Don Bucks. I'll see you on the next one.